what happened, as I already described it, I was seeing them. I was seeing that pack of birds passing over me. My activity of seeing was taking place. My ability to see them was operating. The fact of perception was there, and it was it was the case, but then it was gradually dismantling. Like it was coming to an end, or being. I even don't know how to call it, how to describe that process properly. I was seeing I was seeing those animals. I saw them moving. I saw their arrow, their form, and it was gradually diminishing and turning into a form without. I couldn't trace animals there or something alive. So the sense of there being something alive there also was diminishing until it was a line and until it was nothing. So that in that experience, in terms of my experience, at the end of my experience, there is nothing. There is nothing where the something that I saw transformed into nothing in a gradual process. I'm sure that this is explainable by mere physics, but in my trying to articulate it, as it were, to put to grasp the meaning of that, not just the meaning because it's meaningful as it is, but I'm trying, as philosophers do, to somehow not locate it. I even don't know what they're trying to do. Trying to make sense of that process of perception in other terms than perception. Because if I only speak about it in terms of perception, of myself as a perceiving apparatus, as part of nature, a perceiving apparatus is part of nature, then there are no blind spots, there are no vague places. It's all explainable. But when I start thinking about that in terms of in other terms, in terms of trying to make sense of the whole picture of myself and the birds and what I saw together, it is where the problem begins. In my trying to somehow formulate coherently a joint, a shared domain of the perceiver and stuff. When I try to somehow relate to a joint, wholesome domain, sphere, where there is a perceiver and stuff, is where the problem begins. And that moment of the birds vanishing exemplifies that problem, because if there is a perceiver and there is stuff, one must account for the stuff when it is not perceived. One must account for what it is for stuff to be there without a perceiver, without the concept of perception in the formula, because we have in this world stuff and perceiver, and it goes the other way around too. We must be able to account for the perceiver irrespectively of the stuff, because there is a perceiver and there is stuff. Those are they should be accounted for in themselves. And again, I return to the crux of the matter is this experience of the disappearance of what I perceived. So what had disappeared has had when the pack was flying above me, I had the feeling that they are there. That there are birds. There is something there. It's not a beautiful scenery, but reality. Reality in terms of things that exist, biological, physiological entities, organisms. Organisms as something that exists, as that develops as such, that comes to life as part of a wholesome process, comes to life, develops, and becomes what it is, and then gradually, how do you say? This is, well, I'm sorry, the words, I don't find the right words, but the point is that I had the feeling that these are existing entities, physiological beings. You cannot say talk about biological being as something that is perceived. It is defined as a being. It comes from something, from somewhere, and it goes somewhere. There is a process that abides certain laws. So, and at the same time, there was me, not me as part of the story of life, not me that lives in this apartment, but me as a perceiving, me as the one who saw them, me as the one, me as the one that actually, I cannot say that actually gave them their form and meaning, no, but at the same time, there was the me in whose theater, not even theater, in whose perspective they were. But what is it, this perspective? What is it that I'm seeing them? What is it that I'm seeing those words? Because I know that seeing is the light that comes from them, hits my retina, goes through the nerve system to my brain, etc. And then there it is interpreted in a certain form, and all of that is possible because that's the way. That I was programmed, because that's how the world took form in me from where I was born. I was born with this apparatus that was able to take in all those signals and build some kind of picture from them. And gradually, in all the years that I grew up, etc., my organism was designing itself, etc. That ability was developed. But I know that that ability is the result of that process, of the possibilities that are in my brain as a progressive organism. But in real time, I know that as a fact. I don't know how it happens. No, we don't know how that happens, how that psychophysical combination happens, but